after I restored my teeth.
Started, and then we went downtown, and then she tried to call me to tell me all sorts of stories that we should not marry and so on. And I drove my car downtown, and then next morning we got up and then we went to the official place where you can marry, civil marriage,
or whatever.
And then they said, yeah, you can marry immediately, we can call some people from the street and you can marry him. No. Then said, okay, then you need 2 witnesses, takes 2 friends and do it then a little bit later. But I had to marry before July 25th. Then if I would not, FAO would not have paid the trip back home.
If you had cared.
So I sent her. I sent her the ticket to come to Panama, but no return ticket.
Wicked.
So she was in a trap, and she gave me a hard time. And then finally we went to this office. There was a lady with a big mustache, and she read half, or let's say 15 minutes, what the obligations of the man are, of the women are in a marriage, and another 15 minutes what the rights of the men are in marriage.
No.
There was no obligation on the male side, nothing. And I said, this is the ideal marriage contract. And so we got our marriage, and the office was between the graveyard and the prison in Panama. So we had a whole span there, and then in the afternoon we had our witnesses, and we went then out to the canal zone and had something to eat and celebrated a little bit. We were 4 people, nobody else. And Maria-Luise was crying all the time.
Crying all the time?
Yeah. I didn't want to.
You were emotionally...
But Horst, there was the different packages you chose, you told me. The different packages they offered at the church, different prices.
That was later then. When and then we wrote a postcard home to Maria-Luise and my parents and said, we married yesterday, and my parents couldn't understand, and her father was furious. What does it mean married? And then we got, some days later, we got a letter from him. He said, I don't consider you married, since he was teaching at a priest seminar. And the bishop is not greeting me anymore. And he made a lot of had a lot of trouble in his position there, that his daughter is not married, lives with a man there.
Especially a pagan Protestant.
Not even a Catholic.
Oh my God.
And then I went out and we said, okay, I don't care really. I'm only a learned Christian, and I don't want to have any. I don't want to make any problem. I'm fine if we marry Catholic. We go to the church. Well, then we came to the first priest, and he said, in our neighborhood, he said, you have to come for 6 months to preparation, since you are not Catholic, and we have to teach you, and so on. And I said, no, that's enough.
We're not going to.
Then we went to the next one. He was ready to do it in 3 months, and I said, no, it's too long, it's further. I need marriage now, and to send the document to Italy. And then we came to a young pastor in the center of Panama City.
Very poor
it was fashionable, where all the whores from Panama went for getting marriage and so on. And
confession.
So we went confessions and so so this guy said, can come immediately tomorrow. We have 3 marriages, one for $16, one for 32, and one for 64.
I take the 16. Yeah.
And then I said I take the 16. What do I miss in the 32 and the 64? So in the 32 you get a red carpet, and in the 60 you get organ music. So I don't know. I don't need that for our marriage, and I just want to get a marriage. You know? So we went next day after work at 5 o'clock. We went with 2 witnesses and 1 person which is public. That was a friend of us, he was a photographer. And the 2 witnesses were the same one which we had for our marriage. And then we went there, and in 10 minutes we were married. Maria-Luise, he had never such cold hands and in the tropics.
Did you take a picture of, did the photographer take a picture?
Yeah, we have pictures
I had
of it.
very long hair and a very short white dress. Very short.
Oh, great. I have never seen a picture of this. Do you have it?
You have got to show us this picture.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, but
So we were married, and next day I got, 2 days later, I got the document. I sent it immediately to her father. And
Everybody was happy.
everybody was
makes
happy.
easy to please.
Yeah.
She had hair down to there and a dress up to there as well.
And then we really started to fight. We were living together for 2 years in Germany. Everything went fine. We had the first days we had this problem with the marriage, and then we really started to fight. And then I said, okay, that's time that I go to the bush. I cannot stand it anymore. And then I left with somebody else. We went to an expedition into the south of the canal zone, into the rainforest. We made a botanical study there, and we are looking for timber, what type of forest is there, and so on. And that was a very interesting trip, but we lost, when we went up the river in one place, we lost all our radios and anything what we needed for communicating to the city, what is normally necessary that you do this regularly.
Yeah.
And we lost that completely, and then I said, no, we don't stop, we don't go back. We send somebody to the shore where you have radio contact, and then they can contact our office there that we are okay, and that our equipment is lost, but we stay with the Choco Indians. They were all naked there, and a big community, and we were taken into the community there with a guy which we took with us, and that was a really an interesting expedition. And we lived there for 3 weeks or something, 3-4 weeks, and then we one day we went back. And then when we came to the coast, we radioed that we take the boat overnight from this bay in Panama and up back to Panama City. You know? And so they informed Maria-Luise, and she was just at the harbor when we came, but we had tremendous trouble with this boat. We were going the whole night, and the boat was taking water. And it was just, they could not get enough shoveled water out, and so they started to throw overboard also stuff and so on, but they had to transport to Panama City.
One of your 9 lives here.
And on the ground. And then Maria-Luise was on it. And since that time, we had no serious problem anymore. She learned to speak. She learned to speak English. She got into Spanish, and she had friends there in the meantime. And
you just had to scare the crap out of her. So.
So that's
You just needed a little time to yourself, Maria-Luise.
Yeah, no, she.
But you still...
When she doesn't see an exit, then she
No,
yeah.
no.
She had, this is a pattern we had always.
Well, you think that you can, if you don't like somebody, and if the contentment, to quote you, is missing, then what do? You say, well, let's try to be content, honey. Yuck. Yeah, well, that's, you say
God
this
damn
is something
be content.
you can work.
Be happy.
But Maria-Luise, you were saying, well, that's what...
It's very spicy.
Which in the shark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said, why didn't you tell me?
It was not very hot.
Well, it's, you know, when you eat chocolate, you don't think it should be hot. Yeah. So anyway, that was that. So I could have brought that because there was still...
You know, I think we're going to survive just fine without the chocolate tonight. We'll see what we can do tomorrow.
Some grown-up cookies?
Yeah, I don't know.